Right then, method 2 to become a werewolf. Inheritance. Werewolfness passed down like ginger hair, gout, or an unshakable fondness for bad poetry. In France, Germany and Scandinavia, as well as other areas, it was whispered that lycanthropy could run in families, entire bloodlines supposedly doomed to sprout fur and chase the postman, which frankly is bad news for the postman. Now, how did you spot such unfortunate offspring? Well, first, if the child was born with a cowl, that's the thin birth membrane covering the head intact. I mean, it's perfectly natural in medicine, but in folklore it was a dead giveaway the little darling would one day savage the family goat. Second marker, body hair. Not your usual baby fluff, mind you. We're talking the kind of pelt that made the midwife wonder if she should shear it for wool. Entire christening parties politely cooing while secretly thinking that one's going to savage the vicar by Michaelmas. And third, the infamous, or should it be famous, unibrow rule. If the eyebrows met in the middle, it was apparently proof of wolfish tendencies. Now imagine the case in medieval Europe. Half the population had unibrows and, well, the other half were busy burning them as witches. Entire bonfires lit by eyebrow-based paranoia. Jenkins, do I see your brows creeping together? If you start howling at the moon, I'm requisitioning a lawnmower, young man. In Germany, the legends were particularly sticky. Entire families gained sort of reputations. The Mullers might bake bread, yes, but come Harvest Festival, you keep an eye on their shadows, just in case Uncle Carl sprouted claws. And it wasn't just gossip, I'm afraid. Court records in the 16th century mention trials of whole families accused of lycanthropy. Imagine it. Dragged before a magistrate, not because you stole a chicken, but because your cousin sprouted fur last Tuesday. Absolute nightmare for the family solicitor, I'm sure. Meanwhile, Scandinavia went one better. Some families were said to wolf out without waiting for the moon. No need for lunar scheduling. One moment you're buttering rye bread, the next you've got paws and a rye loaf in your teeth. Dinner ruined. Norse sagas even hint that certain clans carried wolf skins, and these carried wolf souls, and they were passed down like heirlooms. These weren't just curses, they were a sort of spiritual uniform. Some families were half convinced their ancestors had been handpicked by Odin for lupin duty, which is flattering until you realise you can't attend a wedding without worrying you'll eat the groom. And here's the saddest part. These weren't power-hungry villains. Often they had no choice, a hereditary curse forced upon them. Imagine no ambition to terrorise the countryside, no desire to eat sheep. You just wanted to be a baker or a lute player or perhaps a moderately corrupt tax collector, but no. Once a month or worse at random, you're there terrorising the parish. It's like, I don't know, inheriting weak ankles, but I suppose it's infinitely hairier. And these markers, calls, hair, eyebrows became medieval shorthand for suspicion. Whole generations labelled before they'd even learned to walk. A child born with a cowl, midwives whispered. A hairy lad at school, mothers clutched their rosaries. A teenage boy with a unibrow, well, half the village kept silver handy and prayed he didn't get peckish during Lent. The real monsters weren't the wolves, it was the gossip. So there you have it. The werewolf by birth, unlucky lineage, a family curse you couldn't shave, pluck, or pray away, which frankly makes me grateful all I inherited was a dodgy hip of fondness for whiskey and the uncanny ability to survive things that really should have killed me. Though Jenkins insists my eyebrows are getting suspiciously close together. Keep your clippers ready, Jenkins, just in case. And if any of you cadets are secretly part of a hereditary wolf clan, do speak up. We'll get you a comb and a chew toy. Please leave any questions or ideas in the comments below. Thank you very much.